Hello and welcome to Math 8 Unit 3A Lesson 1. Today's objective is scholars will solve one-step equations using addition and subtraction. So please make sure you're completing your notes as you go through this. So what do I mean by solve? Solving a one-variable equation means finding the value of the variable that makes the equation true. In this case, I have x plus 5 equals 10. What value of x makes it true? So how do I solve an equation? First, you have to determine what's happening in the equation. So that's the very first thing. So in this equation, I'm adding 3.7. I see it right there being added to my y. The next step is to determine the inverse or the opposite of what's happening. So the opposite of adding 3.7 is going to be subtracting 3.7. So now we use the inverse operation to solve the equation. So I'm going to subtract 3.7 from both sides. So I have y plus 3.7 minus 3.7 equals 9.3 minus 3.7. We have to do the same thing on both sides of the equation. So over here, that's going to go away and I'll be left with y. Here I have 9.3 minus 3.7, so remember we don't get calculators here. So 3 minus 7, we're going to turn this into an 8 and this into a 13. 13 minus 7 gives me 6. Bring my decimal point straight down. 8 minus 3 gives me 5. So y equals 5.6. So, am I allowed to do that? There's a couple of properties we need to know. First is the addition property of equality. It says if I add the same thing to both sides, the equation remains true. Then there is the subtraction property of equality. Same thing. If I subtract the same thing on both sides, the equation remains true. Okay, so let's try a couple. This is the one that we're just looking at. So what's happening? Well, it's similar. We are subtracting 3.9. The opposite of subtracting 3.9 is going to be adding 3.9. So I'm going to write the equation with adding 3.9. This is my addition property of equality, and I'm going to be adding 3.9. So I have x minus 3.9 plus 3.9 equals 15.3 plus 3.9. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to combine my like terms. So here I have two like terms. Negative 3.9, positive 3.9 are going to cancel. So this just becomes x on this side. Over here, I have 15.3 plus 3.9. I can do that over here on my scratch work if I need to. So it's a 2, carry my 1. Becomes a 9. Bring my decimal point straight down. So x equals 19.2. Okay, let's try another. Here, what's happening is we are adding 18.7. So remember, we're looking for what's happening to our variable. There's our variable. The opposite of adding 18.7, simple. We're just going to subtract 18.7. So I have 10 minus 18.7 equals m plus 18.7 minus 18.7. And I'm using the subtraction property of equality here. So then again, I'm going to combine my like terms. 10 minus 18.7 gives me negative 8.7 equals here. They are going to cancel. That just gives me m. So now I have my value of m. It doesn't matter which side my variable is on. Okay, let's try one more. Here, what's happening? Don't let the fractions get you confused. What's happening? I'm adding 5/8. So the opposite of adding 5/8 is simply subtracting 5/8. So I have g plus 5/8 minus 5/8 equals 7 minus 5/8. And this is our subtraction property of equalities we're subtracting. So over here, plus 5/8 minus 5/8 is going to cancel. This is where we're combining like terms here. So over here, I'm left with g. The other side, I have 7 minus 5/8, which gives me 6 3/8. Okay. So go ahead and try yours on your own, and I will see you all in class.